Okay. Hey everyone, I am Violette De Ayala. I'm the founder of Femcity, and you are joining us today for a brand new series. And I'm so honored and happy to have this beautiful soul next to me, Cory Oliver, as our first guest of the series. Cory, so I'm glad that you're here with us. Cory Oliver is an American film and television actress and writer. Having recently appeared in God's Not Dead and Beverly Hills Pawn, Cory also wrote and recorded the single called I'm Somebody's Daughter, and she is the co-founder of BeverlyHillsBalm.com is the website, Beverly Hills Balm, and she has a great story about the founding of that, but I'll let you share it, Cory. Welcome to our Femcity Facebook Live.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This is wonderful.
Oh, it's so wonderful having you here. And so we were chatting a little bit before we got on, and she has the sweetest founding story ever. And on a side note, Cory, we should totally feature you on femcity.com. So we'll touch base about that later on. I love your founder story. I'm just going to give a hint. It has to do with one of your best friends from childhood. Can you share a little bit about how you guys started Beverly Hills Balm?
Well, this is my friend Tara Broida, who is truly she is my best friend. She was at the birth of my child. She is really one of the main people that can make me pee my pants when I laugh. You know, you have the best. And they don't even have to say anything and you laugh, right? Well, she and I are so connected. And after Beverly Hills Pawn ended, I just wanted to create a product that, you know, was healthy and natural ingredients and some of the ingredients that I had used over the years. And so I really created this in my kitchen. And Tara and I decided to join forces and create BeverlyHillsBalm.com. And it's doing really well and we're having fun with it. And, you know, we try to give as much product away as we do to sell it. So it's, you know, to people that are in need. I know it's just a lip balm, but it is a great one. And we're trying to do good stuff out there. So it's been fun.
I love that. Yeah, and I was gonna say, you know, lip balm is significant. I remember, not to go on another tangent, but I remember my grandmother as she was kind of transitioning. She had really bad cancer. I would bring to her hospital room lip balm, like her favorite lip balm. And sometimes lip balm, I know I'm a huge fan of lip balm, but I'm saying like sometimes it really does make a difference in the way that you feel. And for her, it was a big thing for her.
It is, and you know, part of my obsession, I had a huge obsession with buying a lipstick because I was a single mom for, you know, 18 years. And well, not 18, I guess 16. And so to justify, you know, buying something for myself, a little impulse buy for a lip gloss was what I would purchase. But I decided to create one. And my daughter also put a moratorium on them in my house because I had this big jug. I was like, fine, I'll just make one. But, you know, truthfully, the skin is our largest organ and we eat pounds of lip gloss a year, right? So I wanted it to be something that, I'm not saying eat my lip balm, but you know, if you ingest it, it's not going to be harmful to you. It's beeswax, castor oil, coconut oil, vitamin E, peppermint. So it's really all natural, except for like the pink sheer that has a little bit of red dye in it, but it's fun. It's pretty. Look, I'll show you the color.
It's beautiful. Is that the one that you're wearing now?
It's the one that I have on now. I actually have it on my lips as well. So it's kind of natural. You could wear it to bed. It's really fun.
I'm so buying it. I think we have very similar skin color. I might be a little bit more brown, but you
have beautiful skin, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Secrets you have.
We'll share that at the end.
Okay.
All right, so ladies that are watching, whether you're watching live or the replay, we can't see your questions or your comments right now, but please comment, or if you have any aha moments as Cory and I chat. We're gonna talk today about self-love. It's the theme for Femcity. She and I totally believe that it is time to get our self-love game up. She and I also chatted about, we could tell you like how to create a business, how to be successful, how to do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if you don't feel worthy or value or that you deserve to design the life that you want, it doesn't matter what we share with you. So we're going to focus the next 30 minutes on self-love. Cory has a beautiful self-love story of her journey that she's going to share with us today. So I'm so excited. So if you're asking us questions, we can't see them right now. So be patient. I'll go back later on, and Cory's also going to share ways that you can follow her as well. So this will not be the last time you see Cory. You will be able to see her later. So let's get started, Cory, on the self-love topic. But before we even start about that, I always like to ask, what does self-love mean to you?
That's a great question. As a kid, I was teased a lot. I got several different names of which I will not say here. But when you're younger, it can leave an indelible mark. It really can. And, I was raised in a Christian home and was taught about forgiveness and understanding, that sometimes people say things that doesn't make it so, but it still penetrates your heart.
Right.
And I don't want to get too preachy. I'm inclusive of all religions, but what I practice, and in the Bible, it says, guard your heart, it's the wellspring of life. And so I learned over the years, through trials and tribulations, and we all have them, and they're different for everyone, but we all get thrown into the fire, if you will. And I've learned that, for me personally, the Bible says, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. And so for me, self-love is understanding that I am created in his image and that he loves me, and that I then can love myself, and really truly not believing what society or the enemy, if you will, I don't want to sound too weird, but that voice in our head that will tell us we're not good enough, we don't look great, our hair's messy. Don't believe that. Look in the mirror and say, I am enough. I love me. I am good. Our narrative in our mind is so important, and I'm guilty of it. We can go throughout the day and hear that I can't and I won't, it's never gonna. I immediately stop that and I replace it with I can. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible.
Right.
And I never let that voice run my day. And in fact, I sweep it to the side and I literally start a new narrative, and I just say I can and I will. And I think it might even say in my story, Greg Louganis, who was a famous gold medalist for swimming, for diving. I have a little note downstairs. I should have brought it up here. All he wrote to me was, Cory, believe in yourself, Greg Louganis. And I think I've been quoted as saying, that Lady Gaga even said, you can be in a room with 500 people and all it takes is one person to believe in you. Right. And I say, let that person be you. Let that person be you. And it doesn't matter what anyone has said. And throughout my journey in this business, I have heard the absolute worst. I have. And I've literally looked up and said, that can't be so.
Right.
And I just really, truly believe that, when you wake up, that first thing that you say is, I love me, I believe in me, and I'm going to do great things today. And that sets the tone for the rest of the day.
I hadn't even thought of that until you said that right now. I can't even imagine how difficult it must be to be in your industry with the self-love. I've only been on a couple of auditions like years and years ago. And I remember feeling so, not sad is the word, but like just judged, right? Because you're just judged based on like how you perform for like a minute or whatever that audition's for. And gosh, I can't even imagine what you guys go through, and you're successful and you're huge and you're, thriving and flourishing. And I can't even imagine the first couple of years as you started. I hadn't even thought of like the self-love strength that you have to have, because you're right. The most important conversation that you have going on is the one that you have with yourself.
Yes.
And it has to be super strong, because we're all out there getting beaten down, whether we post something on Facebook or social media, or someone says something, and then in your world, it's like all the time, right? It's like 100 times more. That is like, I had not even thought of it until you said it now. I feel like I have a feeling that your self-love journey is probably really very inspiring for others.
Yes, it is. And it's also, again, someone told me just because someone says something doesn't make it so. And that sounds so cliche, as something like a parent would say to their child, right? I have a daughter who's almost 21. And
every time you say that, just like, you literally look 21.
No, I don't. It's the light. But even teaching her, we're, as women, we can be so down on ourselves because we open up magazines or we see the perfect, person or the image that we're supposed to live up to. And I believe, you know, Catherine Hepburn said, or no, Audrey Hepburn said, happiest girls are the prettiest.
Right. Right.
And your smile is a huge accessory. And it doesn't matter really what you look like. You know, everybody, all of us have bad days. But if you can smile and shine from within and own it,
right,
that is greater than anything anybody could say or be. And you've won. You've won that moment. You've won that day. And so I always say, before my feet hit the ground, I literally say, I'm gonna have a great day today.
right.
And make it a great day today. You have to make it a great day and love yourself. So I know it's hard sometimes too, you know, it really is. And I get that, but it's really taking every thought captive that is not gonna be positive and turning it into a positive thought.
Right. What is your what was that time in your life, or that moment in your life where you had a moment where you said, you know what, I've got to increase my self-love game? Like you started shifting into perhaps editing the conversations in your mind, or recognizing like maybe it's that, you know, like stepping up and having that self-love, like today's going to be beautiful because I say so, because it's going to be, because I'm going to, because I deserve that. But what was that kind of shift or moment? I mean, some people say they have a couple of them, but what was one of those moments that you remember saying, I need to kind of really start being more cautious or intentional with the words I'm sharing to myself?
Well, I love that question. I'm going to be very transparent today because I really feel like there's somebody out there that may need to hear this. And I don't have a tissue and they may start crying.
So I'm going to start crying too. You haven't even said anything. I'm just.
So I am a work in progress. All of us are. And we will continue to get and gain and be thrust into these moments where we will be conditioned and continually gain more self-love. I'm not saying I've even arrived to where I should be, right? I'm still trying to figure it out too. I've been married twice and divorced twice. And a lot of people don't know that because I was married for 3.5 years. I had my daughter and then he left. And then I got married 16 years later. I didn't date, I just waited and poured into my daughter. And I had a marriage ministry. I believe in marriage. All I wanted was to be married and you know, have a solid foundation. And I got married and 26 days later he left. And so as you can imagine, just being left is you start to not have self-love. You start to, you know, look at yourself like, well, wait, what's wrong with me? And it took me a long time to realize it wasn't me. I didn't leave. I loved both of them. But when you're curled up in the fetal position, you know, sobbing because it's painful, you then realize that it's really just you and God. And you have friends and I have family and they're wonderful, but you know, they don't sleep with you. They're not waking up with you and going to bed with you and you're just crushed. And so those two moments, and there are many, many others, but those two moments, I realize that, and I forgive them and I love them and I wish them well, but it's about me and my relationship with God and understanding that I am enough and that I need to take those moments. And I really want someone out there to hear this. Take that moment, take that pain, take that situation or circumstance and turn your pain into your purpose. It is a valuable concept, mainly because you can use that for good. And I did. And I woke up one day after my second marriage and I had been sobbing. And I asked God, what do I do? And he told me that exact same thing. That sounds weird, but that audible voice that we all have, turn your pain into your purpose. And so I wrote the song, I'm Somebody's Daughter. And it wasn't a song to bash people or men or relationships. It was really to help people understand how to pursue a woman and her heart and how she's delicate. And, you know, I just wanted to turn my pain into my purpose and try and help just one person. I think it's worth it. I don't know. answered it, but sorry.
No, it's amazing. I love that you were so vulnerable, Cory, in sharing that it's a work in progress, because I think, we posted a couple, when the Super Bowl thing happened, we posted this, Ariana Huffington posted this thing on LinkedIn, and I loved it and I shared it. And it was like about self-love, right? And even at your level and her level, and I'm sure, I don't even like anyone that we see from the outside, we say, wow, they're so beautiful, they're so perfect, they're so this and that. Like that conversation is still occurring sometimes, And I love that you shared that's a work in progress, because I think people would have looked at you and said, she's got her self-love game like on point. You know what I mean? Like she probably never has a bad day emotionally. And so I'm so glad you shared that, because I think sometimes people think they're alone. They have those.
Them too. That's a great thing, and I don't want them to. And I keep my DMs on and all my social media, because I get a lot of prayer requests and I get a lot of people that reach out, and I just feel like it's a way to help others, through these moments. They're hard, and everybody has a different story. Right. But if you can help just one person, then it's worth it. It is worth the pain. Suffering in silence is never, ever good.
What would you say to someone, and my internet's saying it's unstable, so hopefully I'm like, please stay connected. What would you say to the woman who's watching right now, and she maybe woke up this morning and didn't say kind words to herself? Maybe she saw herself in the mirror, maybe she had someone at work say something, maybe a trigger, I don't know, but she's looking really, okay, I need to become like Cory and kind of edit that conversation and be more loving to myself. Where do I even start? What would you say to them?
I would say get a pen and paper right now. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to get that pen and paper.
You can pause this, go get your pen and paper.
Okay. And start with this. Say good morning to yourself. Say, I love myself. Say, I'm going to do great things today. I'm going to be productive. I am enough. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. It's like Beetlejuice. My best friend Tara and I, my business partner, we always say, let's say it 3 times. Because like when we say it 3 times, it happens. Just keep saying, I am enough. Right. And you will be. Statistics says it takes 21 days to break a bad habit. So I would encourage you to do that for 21 days, and the feelings will just follow. You will start to wake up and it will be like, the hills are alive. It's true. And believe me, I mean, I get those moments where you get hammered, trust me. And I can go into more depth on that, but it really is. And when I say write it down, put that piece of paper beside your bed if you have to, and pick it up and read it. Literally read it. Get books that are positive. I read the Bible. That's just my go-to, because it has a lot of great things in Proverbs and Psalms, and they just kind of lifts me up. But it's not for everybody. In fact, I have mine right here, and my Nana gave it to me. It's in a blue leather case, and it was given to me in 1984. And wow. The only thing that has gone through 20 moves. But find encouraging people, and also, I'll go back to the Bible. It says, surround yourself with like-minded people. If you're stuck in negativity and with a bunch of negative friends, that's going to keep you held down. Right. And, I'm not saying change your friends, but you can help them change the narrative as well. Stay positive. Let your conversations be positive. It's really important, because they've done tests with Chinese water tests, where they have water that's like sitting there with nothing in it, 2 pails of it. Right. And they'll speak to one positive things and it grows beautiful flowers, and the other one they don't speak to and it stays stagnant. And that's right. Their life. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. And so, speaking wonderful things into yourself and your friends is only gonna make your day brighter. I promise.
Right.
Sometimes,
you're right. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say sometimes, my daughter's really good because I've taught her all that. And then sometimes when I've had a moment where I'm like, oh, wah, she'll say, Mommy, that's not our way. Right. It's not our way.
That's the importance of people around you. If you have someone who they themselves don't have good self-love, there's some people that are really mean to themselves and they think it's funny. And so be, I guess, cautious or open to seeing like what around you might be triggering the thoughts that you're having. It's funny, years and years and years ago, I have a friend of mine who was dating, and I was like, you have to date someone who is a good fit for you, like who's good for you. And she's like, well, how do you know someone's good for you? And I was like, when they walk away, do you feel more alive? Do you feel more joyous? You know, do you feel like a better human? Then that's a good sign. But if they walk away, or you talk to them or whatever, and you feel bad about yourself, you're starting to have these conversations, I mean, that's not a good fit for you. And that's even with conversation. Like if you're saying things and it doesn't lift you up to your greater purpose, it doesn't pull you into the alignment of what you're supposed to give in this lifetime, like look to see, like, this is not good. The conversation should always be supporting your greater purpose, your greater good. It should always be from that point. If it's not, there's no reason to have it in your life. It is holding you back, and you will not move forward and achieve your goals if you have that kind of constantly running through your mind. It's not a good place to be in.
True. And there are many books on it. There's one called The Power of Positive Thinking. There's one called The Secret by Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
There is a book that I read called A Happy Pocket Full of Money, and it's not about money. It's quantum physics. And, you know, you have the ability and a lot of power, and, you know, in your tongue, there's life and death in the power of the tongue. So what you speak forward, and I've taught this to my daughter, and she'll always say, Mommy, speak it as though it is so. And just a quick little tiny story on that. From the time she was born, I would tell her, you're going to go to the Olympics. You're going to go to the Olympics. And she would kind of look at me, and she went to a school called Oaks Christian here in LA. And it was a great middle school and high school. And she hadn't played a sport until her freshman year in high school. And she didn't make the soccer team. And she came home that day, and I said, well, let's cry about it today, but tomorrow you go get yourself on the water polo team. So the next day she got in the car, and I said, well, and she said, I'm on. And that was her first year. And her second year, she went to the Junior Olympics and won a bronze medal. Her third year, she went to the Junior Olympics again and won a bronze medal, and then went on to continue to play, and then played for San Diego State. And so my point is, speak it as though it is so. I mean, to start a sport and then end up in the Junior Olympics 1 year later, you can do anything.
Right.
It's really the power of positive thinking, the power of your mind. And so, I mean, that's just one little story, but I always use her because she's the love of my life. And I'm so proud of her.
Oh, she sounds amazing like you. She sounds absolutely amazing. Any final advice you want to share to those that are listening about self-love? You've given so many golden nuggets. I skipped a whole bunch of questions because you covered so much already. Anything like last kind of?
I am very accessible, and if people want to, you know, DM me, or, you know, they can always ask me questions. I am here to help.
Yeah, how can they follow your journeys, or website, or an Instagram, or like how can they follow your journey?
So I have CoryOliver.com. I have BeverlyHillsBalm.com. I am on Instagram, which is Cory Oliver 1, and that's ONE, Cory Oliver 1. Twitter is Cory Oliver 1, and my Facebook is Cory Oliver. And all of them, my DMs are open. I have an email on my CoryOliver.com. Please feel free to reach out. I don't know everything, and if you have advice for me, or you have something you want to share with me that could help me, I'm open. We're all in this together. I was on, or am still on the organization Moms in Prayer, and so I believe in all, you know, women sticking together and helping each other, and I just want to be there to serve. So if I can in any way, please allow me. You
are so like. Your soul shines in everything that you do.
I love you, ditto.
So thank you so much, Cory. I will, hopefully we will feature Cory on our blog as well, with her founder story with BeverlyHillsBalm.com. Cory, this was amazing. You left me with chills, and I'm just so grateful to you for taking the time today to share yourself with the women of Femcity. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Have an awesome and amazing day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.